And now we get to the way too early quarterback roster. So we've been kind of alluding to this the last couple of weeks, but here we go on screen. We're putting it in. And the reason this is variant is because for QB1, we obviously have a bit of a disagreement, and that's okay because guess what? That's what's going to happen sometimes. But we're thinking it's either going to be Mikey Keene or Bryce Underwood as QB1. TJ, make your case because I think you're more on the Keene side, but maybe Bryce could emerge. So let me know kind of your thoughts there.
Yeah, I am of the opinion that Mikey Keene is going to take the first snap week 1. And that is why, and I also am of the opinion, and I think this isn't anything crazy, Mikey Keene's going to be QB1 heading into spring ball. Mm-hmm. Now, Bryce Underwood has had more practice, but at the end of the day, the veteran's going to get the nod. Underwood's going to need to prove it. Do I think Underwood can prove it? Absolutely. I think we all know that. But the question really comes down to, who does Sharon trust taking the very first snap in the very first game of 2025? I think it's the veteran. That's why I have Mikey Keene. Underwood is the better quarterback. I do feel Underwood can take the job about week 3, like a Trevor Lawrence, Kelly Bryant transition. I also feel there's going to be a Cade JJ dynamic where there's going to be a snap distribution. And honestly, if Bryce Underwood shows out, it could be sooner than later, man. I mean, Bryce has all the capabilities. It's just about adapting to the speed of the game and understanding how to read defenses at this level. But that's why I am of the opinion it's Mikey Keene as QB1, Bryce Underwood as QB2. But for how long is the question?
Yeah, and I definitely agree with you on the points that Mikey Keene will be the starter going into spring because, of course, you're gonna go seniority over somebody who was just in high school a couple of months ago. That makes perfect sense. And I do also agree with you that if they decide to go Mikey Keene, that you're going to see a Cade JJ distribution, and Bryce Underwood may be utilized for some deep shots. He may be utilized for some things that he can do. Here's why I'm kind of feeling Bryce Underwood. So it was announced, and you had this as your headline of the Thursday call-in show, that Bryce Underwood has received the first ever 100 ranking from On3. I don't think there's ever, it's 99 point. It's usually 9. The best you could do is like 99.99, like 987, or that, it's close, but no cigar. They have, I mean, you have to be really good, right? And the recruiters, the writers, not just DJ Holland, but a kind of a mix of them. And we've talked about it too by evaluating the film. What it looks like is that Bryce is walking in with the tangibles and intangibles to win the job. Now, here's what's going to need to happen. In order for him to take the job over this level of veteran, he's going to have to wow people in the spring game, which we really never officially got. We got robbed of the Cade JJ spring game, and it kills me because that would have been the real. You would have seen it clear as day, and maybe they go to JJ a little bit earlier. But I think what you're going to see in the spring game, I'm not saying Mikey Keene's going to suck. I think he's going to be very capable, but you're going to see Bryce do some things that we haven't really, only JJ McCarthy has been able to do in the last maybe 15 years of Michigan quarterback play. And that may not be enough on its own. It'll probably need to go all the way into fall and into the fall practices, fall camp. But I think that they're going to make the decision that in the run up that week prior to game 1, that final week, I believe Bryce Underwood will be QB1. He will get the vast majority of the reps with the ones, and he will be your week 1 starter against the New Mexico Lobos, giving him at least one tune-up game before a really tough test in Norman, Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, look, so for him to do that, in my opinion, he's got to be undeniable. And if he's undeniable, then he'll start week 1. I'm just not sure it's going to happen like that. We'll see though. Am I wrong? We'll find out. If I'm wrong, that's cool. I mean, if I'm wrong, then that's great because that means Bryce is that guy. And all right, time out. We know he is that guy, but you know what I mean? Like to start week 1, snap 1 shit, bro. That's rare. It's rare, and it's rare to do that in Excel. Jameson Winston was one of the last ones to do that. Yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. It's going to be the debate of the offseason. Sharon just. I think he's going to play the cautious approach. He's not he's just not he's not the guy who's going to risk it. Especially after last year like that. Plus, and here's another thing too that like needs to be hit on. Like Bryce Underwood is too valuable to risk. How do we know the line's ready to protect him? How do we know? You could David Carr this guy, bro. You can get him shell shocked.
The line has to be on, and that'll probably go into the decision, TJ. It'll probably go into who does start is how strong the line is,
kid, bro. Like I just don't think they're gonna shell shock the kid. Like I've talked about before, a quarterback, a pitcher, and a goalie, like those 3 positions are so psychological. I don't know. I'm just of the opinion. And look, like I told you guys before, I'll be taking bets after the spring game. I'll let you guys know if I'm down to take some bets on that. And we could play a little, have some fun with
that. That could be
we'll do it live on the air. We'll do it live, John.
We'll do it live. We do have some predictions here and some let's see. So yeah, I think this is probably a joke. Detective Loki. Moose is putting his hat in the ring for Underwood. But I also did see somebody for Mikey Keene. Dan Williams is on TJ's side. He thinks Keene is going to start game 1. And then G Boulder kind of splitting down the middle here. G Boulder, Mikey Keene first half, Underwood second half, which technically would mean Mikey Keene is the starter. So that I think that's still a vote for Mikey Keene. But thank you so much. Yeah, split the halves, and if that's what happens, then it's like a micro version of the Cade versus JJ tryouts, but they're going to use the New Mexico game to do it. I just think, like you said, he has to be that guy, like definitively, undeniably. But I think if there's one recruit in the country, I don't even think I'd say this about St. Clair. If it was St. Clair, or it was one of the other 5 stars that were under Underwood, I'd agree with you that I think it's Mikey Keene for sure. But in this case, because of the level of talent, and let's not forget there's a little bit of a financial package too. So there's some being pot committed in this as well.
But see, to me, because there is a financial package, that's why you don't destroy the investment. Like you protect the investment. Like, and there's no need to rush them. Week 1 is not the game to rush them. Week 1's not you're going to win that game. So why would you not ease them in? They're easing them in, boys. I'm telling you right now, they're easing them in. Hey, I'm here to take bets after spring game. Although I don't even know why the hell I'm acting like, all right, we're done talking about. No, we're going to talk about this thing like 50 more times before the spring game.
Oh yeah. 100%.
We'll see.
And we do have a couple more slots to go through, but we do have a super chat. Emil Robinson, why don't we take a look at John Tay Cook at wide receiver? I think someone else asked about John Tay Cook once or twice too.
I don't know why Michigan's not taking a look at him. He's a sophomore, so he fits. I'm tired as hell, boys. My bad. I've been working my ass off today. I don't know why they don't go after him. I've never gotten anything on why they're not targeting him. He's never been a target. I don't know if it's NIL. I don't know if it's just not a culture. I don't know what it is. So I don't know.
Absolutely. But thank you, Emil, and sorry if I mispronounced that, for the $1.99. We do have at QB3, and this was also tough. But because of the injury, Davis Warren's ACL from the Alabama game, we have Jaden Davis at the QB, and we agree. I'm with you. I think Jaden Davis becomes QB3 and will be the kind of first one on the bench back behind Mikey Keene and Bryce Underwood. Given the fact that Davis Warren, I think, is going to be in a de facto coaching role while he recovers for a while, and he's going to have the clipboard for a little while. But he seems to be down for that, and I love that. He's sticking to Michigan. I love that attitude, but it does look like Jaden Davis is just, because of the injury, going to be above him.
Yeah, I mean, going into spring ball, Jaden Davis is 3. I mean, it's just what it is. It's not Chase Herbstreit, and it's not injured Davis Warren. So Jaden Davis will be QB3, which is cool because we're going to see him in the spring game get some action, right? You're going to see, we're going to see if this throwing motion is indeed improved. There's some speculation on where it truly is. We're going to find out, and good for him. I mean, I'm excited to see Jaden Davis play a little football and see what he's capable of.
Yeah. And we will. And we're finally going to get to see, because Jaden Davis had a grand total of 1 snap in the Northwestern game, right? Which I believe was a handoff. So, he hasn't gotten a lot of action yet. And so I think it's really important to see what he can do. Chip Lindsey will have from now until the spring game to tune up. Obviously, spring practices will be able, hopefully Chip Lindsey can get in there. He is also quarterback's coach, to correct some of whatever they've been doing to his throwing motion and some of these things that Kirk Campbell was trying to experiment with. Clearly the throwing has been off. You can make an argument how much, but in general, it hasn't looked amazing. And so I think Chip, if anybody can fix it, I think it's probably Chip. I mean, Chip Lindsey's one of the quarterbacks coaches that I do trust. I do think he is a very experienced and successful quarterbacks coach, in addition to OC. So you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree at all. I mean, that's why we got him. So, it's gonna be interesting to see the difference between what does a Kirk Campbell quarterback coach, offensive coordinator look like to a Chip Lindsey. I have a feeling we're going to be very happy with the result.
Absolutely. So Davis Warren, as we just discussed, QB4 due to the injury that he suffered. If it wasn't for the injury, we'd be at least I'd be flip-flopping him.
So Davis Warren's out 6 months to a year, guys.
Yeah.
He's not 3rd on the depth chart right now, and he probably won't be ready he's probably not ready by the start of fall.
Yeah.
So
the only reason he's above the walk-on / like, hey,
freshman.
we need somebody to be a warm body.
He's not a walk-on, by the way. He's a scholarship player.
He's a scholarship. Okay.
Yeah, it's 105 scholarships now, so no one's a walk-on anymore.
There's so Chase Herbstreit, not a walk-on, but definitely somebody that's more so that we don't have to use a running back or wide receiver as a quarterback. Chase Herbstreit can be in that position. I do think it's very funny that Michigan got him over Ohio State, and he's going to get to see what college level football looks like. He's going to get to see what Chip Lindsey's scheme looks like. And no matter what happens, he's going to get to learn and get a Michigan education. Good for him.
And, it don't hurt to have Kirk Herbstreit rooting for your team now. So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, very, very true. So there's your first stab at the way too early quarterback room. We'll be going through each position group and kind of where we see everybody in the next few weeks. So keep an eye out for that. We'll be doing a lot more content on it. Dependent